Good evening, I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News update. The process has caused some controversy, but the fate of the County Council District 6 seat is now before lawmakers. Our Byron Scott is standing by with the story.
9 individuals lined up to make their case before County Council. Each had 5 minutes to do so.
Although some time have changed since I was a council member.
Former District 6 council member Sam Dean was the first speaker.
I still believe I am well qualified to fill this vacancy.
There were 9 in all who expressed an interest in filling the vacated seat.
Thank you all for your time in accepting my application for this competitive seat. My time here is brief, but I hope it exposes you to me as a person, a resident of the county, and a fellow leader.
Each was allocated 5 minutes to persuade council that they should be appointed.
During my term as president, I have remained an active participant on the Prince George's Homeowners Association. My wife and I owned and operated a small business in Prince George's County that many of you may be familiar with. It was Mitchellville Florist for over 10 years.
From my perspective, people have their own opinions about things.
It was former District 6 council member Derek Davis who got the ball rolling when he stepped down earlier this month. The county charter calls for the council to name a replacement, bringing us to today's information session.
I am currently the mayor of the city of District Heights. I have served 2 terms as commissioner and vice mayor.
As a lifelong boots on the ground resident of Prince George's County, I didn't just wake up and decide, but as you will see, it is a calling for me to serve the people. I am established, invested in my county and community, me and my family.
Some opponents say Davis stepped down early so council could seat a hand-picked successor.
Again, I have no interest in being in this position permanently, but I do think we need someone as a leader and an advocate to temporarily sit in the position until a permanent elected official can be selected. 2
of the candidates appeared virtually.
Being in a role to serve my community is what I've always wanted to do.
As the Chief Operating Officer of a nonprofit organization, I know the value of placing the right leaders in the proper positions in order to achieve projected goals.
Jonathan White used his time to endorse one of his rivals.
But after hearing Ms. Queen, she is the best candidate for this position.
Oh, wow.
To support her.
Yes.
That's it.
In the end, with their brief campaigns over, it's now up to the council.
Thank you for your time and attention.
Council must fill the position by May 15th. In Largo, Byron Scott, CTV News.
The Prince George's County Council unanimously confirms a new school board member this morning. Zipporah Miller will replace Rahila Ahmed in District 5, who resigned to run for a Maryland Senate seat. Miller has a strong background in education, including as a science teacher and head of a national organization. She will sit on a board that has been rife with controversy for many years. The incoming appointee says she will work hard to mediate conflicts that may arise.
We must come in with an understanding that all of our views are going to be different, but then at the same point we need to look at what coming to consensus in the best interest of our community and our children. And so it is to listen and to understand that as we view our as we air our issues, that we can also listen and say, can we say 1 + 1 makes 3, meaning one great idea and another great idea will make a perfect idea, and that's what I mean by 1 + 1 makes 3.
Miller was sworn in shortly after her confirmation by the county executive. Vice President Kamala Harris has tested positive for COVID. The White House made the announcement today. Officials say she's not exhibiting symptoms but is isolating at home. Because of traveling schedules, the White House says the Vice President and President have not had close contact recently. And here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. The Maryland Department of Health has confirmed 838 new cases. The positivity rate in Prince George's is at 5.4%. 9 Marylanders have died of COVID since yesterday. 197 people are hospitalized. That's up 13 from yesterday. Maryland's top legal officer seeks a court order to restrain Harford County from interfering with a fatal shooting investigation. Attorney General Brian Frosch is requesting a temporary restraining order to prevent Harford Sheriff's Office from interfering with its independent investigation. The issue revolves around a fatal police-involved shooting that occurred in Forest Hill on April 23rd. Frosch alleges at the scene, Maryland State Police were prevented from collecting evidence And that evidence collected by local sheriffs wasn't provided to independent investigators as required by law. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Coming up, restoration work is underway at the county's iconic Peace Cross in Bladensburg. We'll have the story after the break.
1 in 365 African Americans battle sickle cell disease. I was one of them. A blood stem cell transplant from a perfectly matched donor saved my life. Many patients are waiting to find their match. They need more Black donors to join the Be the Match registry. Learn more about becoming a donor and access free patient resources by visiting endsicklecell.org today. You or someone you know could be the cure.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro.
Welcome back. Well, Prince George's police have a warning for residents tonight. Do not leave your cars running and unattended. Police say they are seeing a rise in jump-in auto thefts this spring. Authorities say the crimes are happening throughout the county. A former MVA employee pleads guilty to issuing at least 270 fraudulent driver's licenses in exchange for cash. 55-year-old Marion Payne of Harwood worked at the Largo branch. Payne and a co-conspirator produced the licenses for people who were in the U.S. without documentation between 2015 to 2016. Payne received $25,000 in cash and gifts for her role in the conspiracy. She faces a maximum of 15 years in prison and will be required to pay at least $25,000 in restitution. A Virginia man already pleaded guilty to his role in the scheme. It's called Peace Cross, a long-standing monument that honors the lives of 49 Prince Georgians who died during World War I. If you've driven through Bladensburg lately, you've probably noticed scaffolding in place, and that's because restoration efforts are underway. Project work includes landscaping and new signage. Lead Historic Preservation Officer Edward Day says the memorial has endured years of pollution and rain, and he says the monument means a lot to people.
It means a lot to Maryland, but it means a lot to the U.S. We have people giving us funds for the restoration all across the country, and the American Legion posts, send us funds to help us get it restored. So it has this sort of national thing, not just, local Prince George's, but Maryland and the state.
The project is set to be finished by Labor Day. Day says that a rededication ceremony for Peace Cross is set to take place in November. Still to come, we have another Terp who is hoping to hear his name called in the NFL draft. Stay with us.
A lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Thanks for staying with us. After more than 10 days out of service, an elevator at a senior living facility in Capitol Heights is operating again. The elevator reportedly broke at the St. Paul's Senior Living Apartments back on April 10th, causing mobility issues for residents. Leasing office personnel say the lift is located in the Phase 2 area of the complex. But this afternoon, CTV News confirmed that the elevator has been repaired and is running properly again. A former fund director at TEDCO alleges race and sex discrimination in a federal lawsuit filed late last week. According to the Daily Record, Angela Singleton says she was fired from the Maryland Technology Development Corporation in June of 2020 because she complained about discrimination she faced there as a Black woman. Singleton also claims minority entrepreneurs who applied for TEDCO funding experienced similar issues. The complaint says in 2017 and 2018, Only 10 of the organization's 135 investments were made to companies run by Black entrepreneurs. Those companies got less than 1% of what TEDCO invested during those years. An MS-13 leader is sentenced to life in prison for directing and participating in several murders in Maryland and Virginia. 24-year-old Junior Alvarado Requeño helped lead an MS-13 clique in Langley Park between 2015 and 2018. Alvarado Requeño was sentenced for his role in 5 deaths. They include overseeing and taking part in the murder of a 14-year-old gang member from Germantown who was suspected of cooperating with the police. The state's oldest HBCU and Maryland Public Television embark on a new partnership to shed light on 2 of Maryland's most celebrated abolitionists. Bowie State University is now a financial sponsor of 2 PBS documentaries called Harriet Tubman, Visions of Freedom, and Becoming Frederick Douglass. According to officials, the university gave about $250,000 to help support MPT on the production. BSU is expected to host screenings of the programs on campus.
So as we had conversations about, how we could help bring these 2 programs to fruition, we just continue to see the synergy between the mission of MPT in developing these programs and the mission of the university. We're also supporting MPT's efforts to bring the educational materials about these programs into the public schools in our area.
The documentaries will last 1 hour each and are set to air on MPT and PBS stations across the nation beginning in October. And the NFL draft starts in just 2 days. Some of Maryland's Terrapins football players are hoping their name will be among the 260 athletes chosen before the last pick is made on Saturday. Senior tight end Chigoziem Okonkwo was one of the Terps' key receivers last season, with 52 receptions and 5 touchdowns. Okonkwo was also one of 2 Terps invited to the NFL Combine back in March, where he gained the attention of several teams by topping all tight ends with the best time in the 40-yard dash.
Especially at the Combine, you're interviewing with every single team. Everybody from a front office is all inside the room. Sometimes it gets nerve-wracking, I'm not gonna lie, when you're in front of, Andy Reid. It's like someone you've watched on TV your entire life as a kid growing up, and now he's sitting there talking face-to-face to you.
We've used Chig as an inline blocker. We used him as a detached receiver. He can play either the 1 slot, the 2 slot. There's times we've lined him up in the backfield. Our offensive system is very versatile, which allows the players in our system to really showcase the things that the NFL is looking for.
I actually didn't realize how much it helped me until I went to the East-West game, and then being in the Colts offense and then seeing all the same terminologies and all the same words being used, and the tight ends were doing the same exact things we were doing here. And I felt like I was automatically a step ahead of all the other tight ends because they came from offenses that were not like that. So Maryland definitely, running the NFL offense that Coach Locke's, brings to Maryland, it's definitely tremendously helped.
He's a guy that has the ability to run routes, obviously showed the speed there at the Combine, but he's also shown the ability to be a functional C-area blocker, which I think NFL teams would love.
I can play in every role on the field. I can play out wide, in the slot, attached, in the wing, in the backfield. I feel like I can cause mismatches. I can block. So definitely, versatility piece. I'm going to be a big special teams piece. I feel like I'm going to be great off the field too. I feel like I have high football intelligence. So those are definitely things that a team would want to draft me for.
The NFL draft kicks off on Thursday night. And let's get a quick check on your weather forecast. Tonight, showers likely with lows around 45. Wednesday, cloudy with highs around 59. Thursday, sunny skies, high near 61. And Friday, that sunshine is continuing, highs around 65. That wraps up our CTV News Update. I'm Patricia Vallone. Have a great night.